What's up, guys? Hope you are doing fine. And for your daily motorcycle hype, welcome back to Slice Bikes. So, today I'm with my CB300F, and here's episode 2 of my series styled episodes that are gonna launch on YouTube. This is my second episode. The first episode was with the RS457. So, of course, the second episode had to be with the CB300F. So, yeah, since I purchased this bike, I have never driven a car. Believe me or no, I have never driven a car in the past 2 years to travel from point A to point B or for any type of transport in that case, because I prefer the bike anytime. Better mileage, better performance, easier to ride in Indian traffic. So it's been 2 years. I bought this in Feb 2023. So in another 2 months, it's gonna be 2 years since I bought the bike. So in the past 2 years, literally, I have not driven a car, and that is one of the facts of my life. So since 2023 to 2025, I haven't driven a car. So yeah, I'm pretty sure even in the next 2 months, I'm not gonna drive a car. It's only gonna be a motorcycle because I own two bikes, the CB300F and the Aprilia RS457. But today, let's talk about this because it's already 2 years into the ownership of the CB300F, and I have clocked 15,900 kilometers. That is almost 16,000 kilometers, which is a fairly good distance covered on the bike. 15,000 is not too high, not too low for 2 years. So let's get into riding the bike, getting the feel of the road, and talking to you about my experiences with the CB300F. First and foremost, the CB300F was my first motorcycle that I bought with my own money after working for a couple years, saving up just to buy the stuff I love. So, as a young working man, I first went and put in my money into clothes. So I bought all the brands that I love, all the shoes that I love. You can call me a collector because I collect stuff. I collect video games, I collect sneakers. I'm into Jordan 1s. I have a couple Jordan 1s and some Dunks and some Air Forces. And my childhood love, something that's really expensive to buy and you can only buy with adult money, those are automobiles, and for me especially, it is motorcycles. So when I started riding bikes again, because my parents never allowed me to ride a bike to college or anything, before I started riding bikes, I just drove cars. When I was in college, I used to drive a Maruti 800, 2004 or 5, 2004 model. It was a silver color 800. It was the last model of Maruti 800 before it got discontinued. And then I started driving an i10 that my parents had. Then I started driving a Nissan Micra. So I was mostly driving hatchback cars. And I initially liked cars because my Maruti 800 had great acceleration, great performance, great mileage, and it was enjoyable until I started driving the Micra, which was an automatic. I really felt like these automatic vehicles lack character, especially two-wheelers, four-wheelers too, but there are some four-wheeler cars that are good even with automatic, but they are the higher end luxury type cars. So, but still, I prefer manual even if they are high end luxury sports cars. I still prefer a manual drive. But I started losing interest driving cars, man, and it was such a pain and hassle in traffic. Just to commute in my city from point A to point B, it took at least an hour or more than that. So it was getting a bit boring for me, a bit dull for me, and I really wanted to get out of that zone, dude. So until college, until my MBA, it was just cars for me. And my dad had a Royal Enfield Classic 500, but I never took it out much because he didn't let me drive it, and he didn't let me ride it because he always wanted me to wear a helmet and ride. And I was a kid, I didn't want to wear a helmet. Now that I'm more mature, I like helmets, and I really like the expensive helmets because they look cool, they do the things right. You can mount your camera properly. You can mount a camera on a helmet. So I started loving helmets. Apart from that, yeah, cars were getting boring for me, and I started working after my MBA. I was doing all the stuff that a normal, young guy would do who was under 25. Yeah, so partying, done with that, got bored of it. Girls, done with that, got bored of it. Clothes, how many clothes? My room is like filled up with just clothes, so I can't buy any more clothes because there was no space to put any more clothes. What else to do, man, to add some spice in your life? Then I remembered that my first bikes that I asked my parents to buy me when I was in school was the Yamaha RX 100. And later on I upgraded to a SD Road King. This was all, until I was 21 years. I was heavily into the two-stroke culture. I never wanted to buy a modern bike which was available in India, like the R15 or the Charismas or the Pulsars, because I was into two-stroke, because two-strokes are way more powerful, way more torqueier than any of the four-stroke bikes. So once you get the taste of a two-stroke bike, none of the other bikes give you a kick. It's not like I hadn't ridden the newer bikes. I had friends who owned a R15, which was considered the peak of motorcycling at that time, back in 2010, 2011, when I was still in school. When I was 17, 18, just got my license, I had an RX 100 and a ESD Road King. And I was riding them fairly, a lot, almost every day. So then I started getting into going fast and doing stunts without a helmet. So my dad was like, ain't no way you're gonna ride these bikes. If you wanna ride a bike, buy it with your own money, be responsible, and then ride a bike. So he ended up selling my motorcycles, and for the next few years, I think almost 8 years, I didn't have a motorcycle and I was just driving cars. I was really bored with cars and I really wanted a bike after I started earning money. So I got into the market, started searching for a good motorcycle. My first choice was the Gixxer 150 SF because I wanted a fade motorcycle. Then I told my dad, let's go and check it out. He was like, okay, let's go. But I have been looking at bikes too, is what my dad said. So I was like, okay, let's check out your bike, whatever you liked and whatever I liked. So I went and checked out the SF. We test rode the SF 150 and 250. And then he was like, across the road from the showroom, there's a big wing showroom. Let's go and check out the bikes there. So my dad was really into the CB350 Highness and the RS. So he was keen on those motorcycles, whereas I was more keen on a sportier bike. So I go to the showroom, he shows me the HNS. I was like, no dude, this is not something that's built for me. I would like a more sportier bike. And then the showroom salesman was Rafiq from RP Road, Honda Big Wing, Hyderabad. He told me that, yeah, we have a sportier bike, but no fairings, they're naked bikes. We have the Honda 300 series, which is the 300F and the 300R. And I was like, okay, let me check out the bikes. I rode the 300R, it was amazing, but looked very small for me. And then came the turn of the 300F. I rode the bike, felt very much underpowered than the 300R, but the initial, the torque, so that response in the lower to mid range, this bike, provided the best, better than the 300R. Its initial was unmatchable. I had ridden the Duke, I had ridden the Gixxer series, I had ridden the MT, but this kind of throttle response in the lower to mid range, up till 6000 RPM, no bike delivered. Then I was like keenly impressed with the initial, the low end, and the mid range, but the high end, as you've seen, the high end is pretty slow. The way it picks up in the 7000 to 8000 power band is pretty less responsive than what it does in the lower and mid range. So I was like, it has so much power in the low and mid range, but I really like the way the CB300 performed in the higher rev band, because the thrill in the higher rev band, you don't realize that it's coming, but it just happens, just kicks in and you start going off in the higher rev band, because obviously it's a liquid cooled sportier engine. But then the factor of pricing came into play. The salesman said that this was 2,60,000 on road, but there was a 60,000 price cut. It was 2,64,000, but there's a 64,000 rupee price cut on this, and you could get the normal variant in 2 lakhs. And the 300R was not having any price cut, nothing, no discount, nothing, and they were selling it for about 3 lakhs, I think, at that time. So I was like, man, I really like the way the engine of the Gixxers performed, because they also are very top end, the top end on these bikes like the 300R and the Gixxer series and the R15 are very top end heavy, because they perform well in the top end but are weak in the low end. This is fairly okay in the top end. I won't say like it drops completely. It's there is some power there, but it's not as good as the liquid cooled engines. But the low and the mid end is like crazy. 1, 2, 3 gears are like mad. And I sat back and thought to myself, is this 1 lakh worth going for just for the kick in the top end? Because this provides a better mileage. It has a bigger bore, has a bigger cylinder than the 300R, bigger capacity than the Suzuki Gixxers. Those are 300cc. This is 300cc, those are 250 and 150cc, so you're getting a bigger engine, more torque too, but the only thing is less power, overall less power, and not very revvy engine, doesn't have power in the top end. So I thought to myself, man, for 2 lakhs you're getting this. At that time the Gixxer was 2.45 to 2.5 lakhs. I thought to myself, yeah man, you're getting a bigger engine, you're getting a lot of stuff for a very low price at 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs you don't even get an R15 today. So I was like, okay, let me think about it. and sit back. So as I mentioned in the previous video, the sales guy started calling me, and I asked them, it's gonna be Valentine's Day. I'm coming on Valentine's Day most probably to pick up my bike. So give me a Valentine's discount. They were a bit hesitant in the starting, but the sales guy said, let me talk to my manager, I'll get back to you. And I asked him, give it to me in 1.9. So he comes back to me and he tells, okay, if you're buying the bike today, I will give it to you in 1.9. After today, the offer doesn't apply. So I went to the showroom, transferred the money for the bike, got it, and I enjoyed riding the bike. It was a very good experience. At 300cc, I am still getting 30 mileage to 35 mileage, and power is immense. Up till 100, this bike smashes any of the bikes, any of the single cylinder bikes. Let it be a Duke, let it be your Duke 250 maybe, or the Apache RR 310s, or your Pulsars, your R15. It just smashes them in the initial 0 to 100. Drag races, this is a beast, bro. This is a beast in drag races. So performance is there, speed is there. Overall, it's a nice bike to have in your garage, because if you want to chill out someday, just go on a smooth, nice ride. You get a good oil cooled 300cc Honda engine, which doesn't fail you, doesn't stop anywhere. The engine doesn't seize. It's fun to ride slow, it's fun to ride fast. It's got that good acceleration, it's got that good pickup, it's got everything a normal guy needs. It's got that good pricing too. The pricing on this is really good. For 2 lakh rupees, you're getting a 300cc good Honda naked bike. That's pretty impressive pricing, bro, by Honda. So I've enjoyed this bike a lot. But the only problem that I've had with this bike is Honda's servicing is so bad, man. So bad. I haven't expected this kind of servicing. You know what? I wouldn't say bad. Let me be honest with you. Up till September of this year, I was getting exceptionally good servicing for my 300F. The only place where the problem started was when the mechanic switched, and surprisingly, the mechanic that used to work at my Honda workshop got placed in the Aprilia service station, and so the same mechanic who used to work on my bike got into Aprilia, because I don't know why. Maybe he was being paid less or some reason as such, but he's a superbike mechanic, dude, and Honda Big Wing is supposed to have only superbikes. So the guy Ismail does only superbikes, and he's an exceptionally good service guy. He tackles the problems head on correctly. He is a proficient worker with the tools. He uses the right tools for the right things. But the new guys who came to Honda, they were messed up, bro. Honestly, that was so disappointing to see Honda messing up their staff and their mechanics, because Honda is such a big brand worldwide. I mean, you don't expect bad service, at least from Honda. You may expect other stuff like salesmen not being good in some places, or charging more money for certain things or something like that. But quality wise, even with servicing, I never expected Honda to deliver such poor service. Always expected it to give top-notch servicing, because I was ready to pay how much ever amount to get my bike serviced and keep it in the tip-top condition. But somewhere something went wrong, and right now I'm enjoying the servicing with Aprilia, but I don't enjoy the service with Honda anymore. So yeah guys, overall the bike is a good bike. You can go for the bike, but be careful about where you're giving your bike for service. If you're in Hyderabad, go to Kukatpalli service station, because they are more proficient. The people over there are more understanding than your Jubilee Hills and what's that other place, the RP Road service station from where I purchased my bike. The RP Road guy is a complete idiot. He doesn't know how to do service. He spoiled my bike almost, and they dropped my bike, bro. That was the worst part. And they fucked my exhaust, plastic on the exhaust. They did a lot of stuff to my bike, but I got compensated for it, so that's not a problem over there. But you see, I was keeping the bike in a good condition, but somebody comes and messes up with the stock parts. You don't feel good about it because it's not the same bike that you got from the showroom anymore. So it kind of pisses people off because they've been taking care of the bike for so long, for so good, and some guy from the official team who's supposed to take care of it better than you comes and screws up the bike. You're obviously not gonna feel good. So let's talk something about the bike's engine and character. It's a naked bike from the Hornet Twister kind of lineup. It has the same type of body design language, to be precise. It has the same kind of design language from the Hornet and the Twister series, which is the naked versions available in Honda. So this is particularly a 300cc oil cooled engine. It has a radiator up front, and it's very powerful in the initial, bro. And sometimes when I go fast and engine brake, you can hear some pops and some a reverse pop coming from the engine, which sounds so good. And the feel on the bike is really good. It has a sporty feel, and also the way the rider is positioned on the bike, it's got a nice upright position, not like the KTMs and the MTs, which have a lower position like this. Not that those are not that comfortable as this. So you can actually cruise on the highways, and nice way to handle the bike. Also, stability on the bike is very good. I had a problem with my stock tire initially. It got punctured very easily. So when I traveled from Hyderabad to Mumbai, I got 20 punctures in my tire. So the quality of that tire was subpar. When I changed my tire, I haven't had any problems. Right now I use a touring tire, the MRF Rev ZD it's called. There's a nice lake over here. Rev ZD it's called. So since I put that, no problems with my tire. My front tire hasn't had any problem till now. Planning to get it changed after 20,000 kilometers, or most probably during the next service. So yeah, I haven't had many complaints apart from the servicing, bro. And this bike is a good bike to pull a wheelie or something like that. It has that good initial, but again in the top end it just flattens out and it doesn't wheelie as good anymore. Let's give it another try. Okay, that's a decent pop. Not that big, but yeah, okay. So my back tire is fully filled with air, and I think it doesn't want to pop up that well. But yeah, overall I haven't had too many problems with the bike, and here it is in all its glory. Looks nice. I like the shape of the rear tail lamp, like how the silencer looks. Nice height on the handlebars. It's got Nissan brakes. It's got a Showa suspension that performs really well in corners and stuff like that. Here's the radiator, oil cooled radiator. So yeah guys, overall good experience with the Honda CB300F. I love my bike. It's my first bike, so not too many complaints of it. It delivers good gas mileage, amazing gas mileage for a 300cc. So, and it's a good commuter, good power commuter bike. Goes really well in the cities. Nobody is gonna beat you, from at any stoplight. You can drag race any bike up till 400cc and you're gonna kill it, crush it. So don't worry about the speed and performance. Awesome speed and performance. 24.5 bhp, 26.5 torque at 7,500 rpm and 5,500 rpm respectively. So yeah guys, that's all about it. Oh my god. That's all about it for this year, and I'm gonna wrap the new year with this video, my final video this new year. Hope we get some more good stuff coming 2025. We are expecting a lot of good motorcycles in 2025. The KTM has updated their lineup, and hope I can test drive the Supermoto 390 and 125, because I am eyeing the Supermoto or the Enduro 125, because I want to get onto stuff like this with an off-road bike, go to lakes, check them out. So I think a 125 Enduro bike is gonna be good. Hopefully, if my channel grows, I can purchase that bike and make more videos about it along with the bikes that I already own. If my channel grows, if I get the views. So keep supporting, guys. Wish you all the best of luck. Wish you all a happy new year, and stay safe. Keep riding. Always wear your helmet, guys, and enjoy motorcycles and the motorcycling world in 2025, and a lot more years and a lot more days to come enjoying motorcycling. Thank you. Ending off the new year on this note, on a very good note. Had a good ride. See you again next year with a new video, the episode 3. Thank you.